Thank you. Thank you. mmengoja sana. Don't worry, the time is nay. Ama ni nae, hata sijui. But let me know, iko vipi, how has your week been? Umekuwaje tangu the last time tulipatana, which was last week? I hope umekuwa fiti, kumekuwa na maandamano kidogo, lakini how have you been? How has your week been? I think time is moving very fast because we are almost in August, guys. We are in the middle of July. Imeanza too juicy, but here we are. So again, let me know where you're listening to us from. The WhatsApp line 0717400555. Our social media platforms at Hope FM Live on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. You'll find us right there. The hashtag is Boomyard, hashtag Tiffany in the Yard.
Experience the hope, the music, the anointing. This is Hope FM, where you listen and live.
Anamjua nafaa kwenda studio. Kuna mtu anamjua, anamtambua. Once again, karibuni sana. You are tuned into the Boomyard Live on Hope FM 93.3 is the frequency where you listen and live. My name is Tiffany. Karibuni sana to each and every one of you who has already tuned in, already reading some of your comments right here. Naona Mr. Chiniki alishawasili akisema tuko ndani ya Boomyard kama kawaida. Silas Okech anafuatilia from Nakuru. Karibu sana. Uko kukoaje? Kuko vipi? Let me know how you're doing. How is Nakuru? We have Winfred Mathio, karibu sana, representing Nyeri Town kama kawaida, anasema hata alikuwa anangoja tuanze. The hashtag is Boomyard for sure. Vincent Mweka, karibu sana from Embakasi as always. The hashtag is Boomyard and listen and live on Hope FM, of course. Niliona Faith Ndirango pia Mlolongo is tuned in ready for the Boomyard to toy baridi. Faith is saying her week was awesome and she is grateful, also requesting a Good Shepherd, which is an amazing reggae song. Hashtag is Boomyard, hashtag Tiffany in the yard. Anasema show imeanza. Niliona pia Kim Shege alikuwa shatini na kisema hallelujah, thank you Jesus, make my heart your home. Jericho tuko ndani kabisa, ready to worship on hashtag Boomyard, hashtag listen and live. Na pale Twitter pia naona Kim Shege hajachelewa manze. Asante sana Kim Shege, thank you so much. Just giving thanks akisema his week has been good, can't complain, God amemwona, amemcheki. Please drop for us Buddha Wacha story by Moji Short Baba, of course representing Jericho. And yes, very grateful for each and every one of you again who has tuned in. The number is 0717400555. That is our WhatsApp line. Our SMS line 20933, or you can just drop a comment when you check into your social media platforms on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. You will find us on Hope FM Live, or use the hashtag Boomyard, of course, when you are sharing with your friends. By the way, share uambie kuna show hatari sana iko pale Hope FM. In case unasikia baridi sana, I have a solution for you. You can definitely tune into Hope FM, and I am pretty sure hiyo baridi itaenda in a few seconds, if not immediately. For me, I'm thanking God. My week has been awesome. I'm giving thanks to God in everything. Getting to know about seasons. Nimekuwa nikiona sana, I don't know why, but social media nimekuwa nikiona sana something to do with seasons. You know, the ups and downs of life. You have to stay connected to the source, and that is Jesus Christ, which is definitely the agenda we have right here on Hope FM as well, and Boomyard. And you can also let me know, by the way, how have seasons been for you? You see conversation yetu ya leo, lakini nazaniambia, how have seasons been for you? How have you stayed connected to the source? Of course, because in everything we do need to stay connected to Jesus, because kama sio Yesu sijui itakuwaje, sijui tutakuwa wapi. Also just giving a few hints about our conversation for today, in case you may have logged on to our social media platforms and saw right there. Leo tunaongelelea mambo ya millennials na Gen Z. Na sijui wako wapi. Forward hiyo link uambie manze, leo hii topic enye inagusa mahali kuhusu millennials na Gen Zs. Talking about easy beliefs na cultures zenye zimekuwa passed on by our grandparents and their parents and our parents, and now being passed on to us. Ni kama kuna wase wengi wameona hii kidogo hii haibambi. We are moving away from this. Hii nayo hii haibambi. Ile inabamba jo ni ile nye sisi tunataka. And that's what we'll be talking about actually in the next hour, that is from 8 p.m. So please do stay tuned once again, and you can definitely reach out to us and let me know what are some of those beliefs, cultures and traditions that you feel they're just not it. They're not giving, let me use the language, they're not giving the cultures, the beliefs. They're not believing. The language ya Gen Z na millennials, by the way, ukiingia social media kidogo unaweza potea kama uko the previous generations juu utaona hapo, you know, it's not giving, no cap, you know, like this guy was hey, iyo si ya watu wengi. It is not for everybody. It is not for everybody. But yes, that is our conversation for today. And of course, even if you're a parent, please do not shy away from the conversation. I think it would be awesome to also have your side of what you think about some of these cultures and beliefs that you have passed on to your children. Or if you're not in the Gen Z or millennial generation, but you're in the previous generation, even if you don't have children. What do you think about that? What are some of those beliefs that people feel they're really not it at the moment? Yes, and again, our WhatsApp line is 0717400555. You can reach out to us on our social media platforms at Hope FM Live. Use the hashtag Boomyard so that it can be seen easily. And again, please do share with your friends this link and let them know we are having an exciting show, an exciting conversation here on Hope FM. As I continue to even check out people who are tuning in, let me know where you're listening to us from. Let me know if this is your first time on Boomyard. I would love to give you a shout out. Let me know if it is your birthday, ama inakaribia, ama imepita, and maybe I did not get to celebrate it. Please do let me know. Or if you would like to pass on birthday wishes to somebody, please do let me know. I would love to do that for you. And on the same social media platforms, our SMS line is 20933. Naona Kiprono Gilbert anasema powerful, niko ndani ya show from Nakuru, Ngata show iko sawa. Thank you so much. Nakuru tuned in. Naona Liza Njogu tuned in from Embu. Liza, thank you so much for tuning in. Karibu sana to the Boomyard. And even as we continue, our next segment is coming up on tectonic movement, where we're going to be talking about some of those updates in the tech world, innovation, and everything to do with that. In case you might have any, again, use the same number, and also the social media platforms on anything, tech savvy that you feel has been interesting, or you feel like, hey, technology kidogo imeanza ku overdo. Please do let me know. I would definitely love to sample some of that.
Hope FM exists to know God and make Him known through evangelism and discipleship. For feedback, suggestions, or complaints regarding our programming, talk to us on 0709-861180 or email us on feedback@hopefm.org. Reach us through our social media platforms.
That is Sidon by Bruce Newton, bringing us to 35 minutes past the top of the hour. Sijui kama mko sawa, kama mnaendelea vizuri. I hope bado mko tuned in. I'm seeing more comments actually streaming in right there. I hope by the way mmeshambia watu kama hauna form, please. Hope FM is the place to be.
Tectonic movement on the Boomyard.
All right, and on today's Tectonic Movements segment, we have something very interesting actually. A couple of very interesting things. Technology will never cease to be interesting, guys. Okay, at least for me, I know it will never cease to be interesting. We have sijui kama mnajua app inaitwa Slack. Slack is a platform mostly used by organizations, a bit of corporates. It's not like LinkedIn. It's more of bringing together people in a smaller platform than LinkedIn. You know, LinkedIn is like kila mtu from everywhere, but your Slack download, you can tailor it to fit your organization, and you can create a group or something like that for your organization and the people in your organization. And so kuna yenye imetokea na bado inaitwa Threads. If you remember last week on our Tectonic Movement segment, we talked about Threads yenye iko na ka competition kidogo na Twitter, but this one is different. It's a Slack alternative. I'm not sure of the reviews, but it's actually noted that it has had a surge, yani ma downloads and installs increase. Guessing because, you know, we are a tech savvy generation. We like to test and see what is this, what is working, what is not working, what does it do, what are the pros and cons. And it's actually seen an increase in downloads and installs, which you can see technology ikiendelea. By the way, kuna so many developments, you know, you never know, some new WhatsApp can come in soon. I mean, everybody is kind of rushing in this competition, but also to just stay ahead of the technology. So Threads is actually one of them that I saw to be very interesting.
The Boomyard Tectonic Movement.
I also have another one, in case you may not have seen it trending in Twitter or social media. It's called the Nothing Phone 2. There is Phone 1, but it's called the Nothing Phone. It's actually from a company based in London called Nothing. Very interesting. Ni kama walikosa majina, but I was like, okay, it's called Nothing. Like the company itself is actually called Nothing, and they do produce phones, and this is the Nothing Phone 2. It's coming out for roughly 70,000, which is a lot of money. But it seems to be a very interesting phone. Of course, from the name, inaitwa Nothing, but even the features, it's not like your ordinary, you know, phone. It's Android, but it's not like your ordinary phone. It's a very interesting phone with very interesting features. It's actually been trending on social media because, of course, imetokea. It's a novel kind of release from the Nothing company, and it says it offers a lot of specs from it. It has a smooth OLED screen, inafanana na iPhone 12 hapo nyuma, and it has with the curves to its edges, and it's apparently it feels more premium, like, you know, as compared to the Phone 1. What was interesting for me is the name, Nothing Phone. That means it's gonna be probably Nothing Phone 3, Nothing Phone 4, 5, Nothing Phone X or something like that. I think the name is just very interesting for me.
The Boomyard Tectonic Movement.
We also have another one where also, if you know ChatGPT, I hope you do know ChatGPT. It's a very, you know, kind of technology in the ecosystem, and many people are using it in the work environment and in schools. So for ChatGPT, there are some Kenyans who are filing a petition because they feel that there's some of those big tech companies that outsource content moderation in Kenya, and they feel that some of their working conditions are going against the laws of the land. And the petition actually wants investigators to look into the nature, the conditions of work and operations of such big companies in the technology sector, which outsource services in Kenya through companies which are literally at the center of various accusations, including alleged exploitation of employees and illegal layoffs, actually illegal mass layoffs of content moderators. And again, this is something that comes with technology. You can try to control it, but it is very, very difficult to control technology. But it's some of the things that, make us open and open our eyes to just see, it can be harmful, but it can also work to our advantage. But for them, they just want to ensure that, in technology, you're not working against the laws of the land. You're not targeting people in a very, with ulterior motives. When you're employing people, the nature and the condition of work has to be favorable for them. It has to be decent working environment. And I think that's mainly the agenda of the petitions. But if you know ChatGPT, it's something very simple to use. It's technology ilikuja na ikatushtua sisi wote, because we're like, wow, this is some high level. And imagine, I don't think we have seen anything yet, because this is something that tukiangalia maybe 5 years in the future, we'll just be like, wow, okay, there was ChatGPT, and sahi we are moving. So where are we exactly?
Boomyard Tectonic Movement.
All right, and that has been our Tectonic Movement segment, just looking into some of the updates in the tech industry. If you may have noticed, if you're working in the IT sector and you have noticed something interesting, please do reach out to us on our WhatsApp line, which is 0717 400 555. Our SMS line is 20933. You can write me a comment on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter at Hope FM Live. Use the hashtag Boomyard, hashtag Tiffany in the Yard.
Boomyard Tectonic Movement.
Hey, cha cha cha. Hey. Anguka Nayo by Javide, Timeless, Noel Didiman and Moji Short Baba, bringing us to actually 11 minutes to the top of the next hour. Again, akitaimin akimbianga hapa, but hapa Boomyard, I think we have so much fun with the music and the conversations that it just inaendanga haraka sana. Just to finalize actually on the tech segment that we were just talking about, I think technology is something that will of course never stop evolving, na ni kitu yenye itaendelea kukua na sisi until milele na milele. You know, I was just saying just before the music break that some of these things tunaziona sahi are some of the biggest things we've ever seen in a few years time, maybe even 2 years, not even 5, maybe even 1. Just next year we'll be like this, surely we are moving away from this, you know. It's just very interesting to see some of these things. And again, sampling a bit more of your comments, mnaendelea kustream in, karibuni sana to Boomyard. Naona Baba Shamith anasema well represented, he is tuned in with his wife Alvin, daughter Shamith, parents and Raise Abak Halwa. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope unabarikiwa na familia yako. Thank you so much for tuning in to Boomyard. We have Peter Kimeo, karibu sana, thank you for tuning in to Boomyard. We have Sharon Chelanga tuned in here from Kericho, anasema anapenda show, asante sana na karibu sana to the Boomyard. We have Fred Junior Nyabera, Pipeline representing, karibu sana. Zadok Shirandula Markson, Runda Drive Estate tuned in, karibu sana. I hope inakubamba, by the way. I hope uko fiti sana. Naona Pesh amewasili. How are you Pesh? How have you been? Pesh anasema wiki yake it's not been as cold. It's actually been extremely hot, but giving thanks and everything. Asking how my week has been. My week has been great. Giving thanks to God. Again, I was just talking earlier on during the hour that, you know, in every season, just give thanks to God. And I'm grateful during the ups and the downs, you know, God remains to be the same. And being connected to the source is super important. Very important. Kim again, anasema hapa mziki imembamba sana. Anasema unahepa chacha ikubaliki on #Boomyard, listen and live for sure. That is definitely the motto. Hatutaki kuhepa church. We want to bring people closer and closer to Jesus. Kuna Moses anasema good evening, ako tuned into the show #Boomyard. Hapo tu kwa keja peke yake, lakini hafeel kama ako peke yake because the show is lit. Ako Nakuru. Na Nakuru unaona mmewasili in numbers. Thank you so much for tuning in. Na Moses may comment on the topic that we're going to be talking about actually in the next hour just coming up, and that is about people in the Gen Z millennial kind of generation. Kuna wenye hawaja take up some of these things that our parents and our grandparents have passed on to us, and I would like to know what some of those beliefs and cultures for you are. Kuna so many in terms of work, in terms of family, in terms of marriage, in terms of, you know, everything, religion, going to church. I would like to know what that is for you. And again, you can reach out to our WhatsApp line, which is 0717400555, our SMS line 20933. You can let me know what you think about that. So Mose anasema this generation, it's a new reality in our Gonga because of innovation in technology. Hakuna vile this generations zinaweza kanja mitandao na, you know, everything is just being innovated now and then. Kuongea ukweli tutakwambia hapo kwa technology si ati tunasumbua. So yeah, anasema si ati we're being stubborn or, you know, tunajaribu tu kwa kichwa ngumu for no reason. We actually we're being awakened to some of these things that apparently maybe our parents and our grandparents didn't see. And of course, again, being reference to technology, as I was saying, maybe to zenye hatuwezi avoid. So even Mose anasema, and again, continue streaming in your comments on the same. I would love to hear even from the parents who are in the building, if you feel that your children, if they are teenagers, you know, any whatever age group that your children are in, na kuna vitu utamwambia na atakuangalia like unaniambia nini wewe. I would love to know that from you. This is not only just for the young people in the millennial and Gen Z bracket. I would love to know even from the parents, what do you think? Some of these things that you will tell your children, you will try to pass on to your children, you will try to pass on to your grandchildren, and kidogo it is not received with open arms because it is a very different generation we are dealing with here. And some of your comments, Kim Shege naona uko kila mahali manze. Hey, asanti sana. Uko WhatsApp, uko Twitter, uko na watu wangu wa Twitter, by the way, sijawasahau, msijali nakuja hapo in just a few. I have Esther Mbele saying good evening, Tiffany tuned in. She's saying she's he thinks you're doing well because some cultures kidogo zinakuwa tricky, and anasema wako sawa kabisa. That is from Esther Mbele sending her comment on Facebook, or actually YouTube. We have Kikwai Nicholas tuned in from Kericho. Thank you so much, Nicholas, for tuning in. Asante sana for finding time. We have Simon Nurakana from Buyai Marachi Butula. Anasema niko ndani. That is a comment on Twitter. Thank you so much for tuning in. And please do let me know what you think about that. We'll be just breaking down this in a few. I would really love to know what you guys think about the same topic, because I find it very, very interesting. And also, please don't log out. We are going to have our Minani segment also in the next hour. Going to just have some, a bit of tickles here and there, just some fun, laughs and everything. So please do not log off just yet. Our Minani segment is coming up just before we have our conversation for today, which is, do you think that Gen Zs and Millennials and maybe Gen Alpha, if they're falling in that bracket, are just stubborn, but they are being awakened to the reality? As one of us has said, we are just awakened to the reality. Our technology has done it for us, and we are a generation that is woke, please. So msitusumbue, because we are just fine. Again, our WhatsApp line 0717400555. Our social media platforms at Hope FM Live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Our SMS line 20933. You can also send me a DM or comment on Twitter at Tiffany Wamboi7, on Instagram at Tiffany Wamboi_. Let me know what you guys think about the same topic. I would love to hear that from you. So please do not tune out just yet. We're about to have fun. I will also be taking some calls as we talk about the topic towards the middle of the next hour. So please, again, if you have some insights on the same, I would definitely love to hear some more of that from you.
Boomyard is now rocking your weekend with Tiffany.
Bwana Yesu by Eunice Njeri mwenyewe live on the Boomyard and Hope FM, bringing us to 11 minutes past the top of the hour. I hope in our bamba mahali mko mimi personally I am enjoying hata kama hamnioni at some point. Lazima nifiche juu kidogo sijui kama najua kudance. Even before we just go to the next segment, let me just sample a bit more of your comments. We have Nancy Njoroge. Good evening. Thank you so much, Nancy, for tuning in to the Boomyard. I hope inakubamba. I hope uko fiti mahali uko. We have Christ Ambassador Lawrence Ministries anasema, hello Tiffany, listening and living. Amen. And that is exactly what we are about right here on Hope FM, where you listen and live.
Hope FM, the hottest gospel. Listen.
Ni nani? Wenye walisema hatuendi mbali. Hapa ni wapi? Hapa ni wapi? Hapa ni wapi?
Ni nani? On the Boomyard.
Listen and live.
All right, and on tonight's segment on Meme ni Nani, I hope itakuwa fun kwa sababu hizo zenye tumekuwa nazo so far mimi personally zimekuwa zikinichekesha sana. We have someone here who was saying, I think it's a kind of an old meme, but inasema brain cells die, skin cells die, even hair cells die, but fat cells must have accepted Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior because they seem to have eternal life. Those unaendaga gym manze, fat cells ni kama zilisema I have received eternal life because there's nowhere I am going. I think that's hilarious. Oh my goodness. We have another one, someone who is, it's a kind of a comparison, and anasema when you're praying and you're saying, Lord, thank you for this food, bless it, make it good for my body, amen. But the food ni KFC hapo pieces 10, fries mara 3, soda 50, na uko hapo, the Lord just like, how exactly? How will that work? We have another one, my mom telling everyone my business in form of a prayer request. Inaonyesha there's a lady hapo mwenye ameenda live na microphone hapo anarekodiwa na camera. The moms who just like saying, my son, how's your son? My son is okay. Amekuwa tu akistruggle na kazi. Just pray for him. He's not been doing well. We've been trusting for our wife for him. You're like, oh my goodness, excuse me? Please, I am praying for it myself. Do not embarrass me, please. We also have another one which is also very common. Ikisema, controlling my tongue is no problem. It is my face that needs deliverance, my friends. Unaangalia mtu tu unanyamaza ndio, but your face is just speaking volumes for you. Unajaribu lakini ni ngumu sana. Your face has already spoken. It is too late. We also have another one here saying, do you ever mention someone in your prayers and then you feel bad for not mentioning other people, and then suddenly you have included the whole world in your prayers? Umeanza tu na familia, ukasema marafiki, ukasema in-laws, nini if you're married, ama ukasema the family of my friends. Kidogo so unasema nasikia vibaya, sijaombea hawa wengine. Una advance, unaenda hadi kwa I'm praying for Asia, I'm praying for Europe, I'm praying for the family, like not it's a bad thing, but it shouldn't be out of guilt. It's really funny because it's like you're trying to compensate, but really it's it's just very interesting. There's also another mwenye anasema, this is Kenyan memes on Twitter, anasema, so even ever since the world began there was no other ways of bathing except using water. Surely science has failed us. Surely. And apparently it's only appropriate to say, look at you got so big, to children, lakini adults ukiniambia ati, oh look at you got so big, tutakosana my friend, tutakosana sana.
Experience the hope, the music, the anointing. This is Hope FM, where you listen and live.
This is Kenyan memes on Twitter, anasema, so even ever since the world began there was no other ways of bathing except using water. Surely science has failed us. Surely.
Experience the hope, the music, the anointing. This is Hope FM, where you listen and live.
amazing song right there. Rauka by Kanji Mbogwa, Alice Kimanzi, and the Twakutukuza Choir. Rauka. Forget the past, you know. Look at what the Lord is doing in this current season, bringing us to 21 minutes past the top of the hour. You are tuned into Boomyard. In case ulikuwa unashangaa huku ni wapi, hapa ni wapi. You are tuned into Boomyard on Hope FM, where you listen and live. 93.3 is the frequency. Karibuni sana to each and every one of you who has tuned in once again. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Boomyard. I hope in our Bamba. I hope at least despite the cold season, I hope you are able to just get a bit warm by dancing wherever you are, or whatever you're doing with your family, with your friends. I hope in our Bamba. And so even in our discussion for today, we're talking about do you feel or do you think as a Gen Zer, Gen Zer ni mtu wa Gen Z, na millennial, do you think that you are just stubborn? Do you think that you are just hard-headed for nothing? Ama ni ile kukua awakened to some realities? That's what we want to talk about tonight, and we just want to get to know your views. You can reach out to us, by the way. Our WhatsApp line is 0717 400 555. Our SMS line is 20933. You can find us on our social media platforms on Hope FM Live at Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Please do reach out right there. Use the hashtag Boomyard, hashtag Tiffany in the yard. Now, utatupata right there. So actually diving into the conversation, by the way, and as usual, you guys are my guests, and you're the ones who are going to be telling me your insights on what you think. I'll be taking calls a bit later towards the hour. I'm on the same conversation. Let me know. Again, the line is 0717 400 555 on whether you feel that Gen Zs and millennials are just stubborn for nothing, ama they are awakened to some realities. You will find kuna traditions flani, kuna beliefs flani, cultures flani, then they are no longer working for us. I would say us because I'm part of that generation. I think I'm a Gen Z. I think, and just to bring a bit of context to that as well, just if you may not understand where exactly you lie in or which generation uko, I will help you to do that. So we have, I think, 5 actually. We probably have more than 5, but let me state the 5 which are maybe a bit more recent. So we have the baby boomers, who start from the year 1946 to 1964. Sijui kama kuna mtu wa hiyo age group mwenye ako 1946 to 1964. We have the Gen X from 1965 all the way to 1980. That is Gen X. We have Gen Y, or now known as millennials, from 1981 to 1996. We have now Gen Z from 1997 to 2012, and then we have Gen Alpha from 2012 onwards. Now, of course, still right now, till the next generation will come up. So kama umeweza kusikia, niambie wewe kwanza uko generation gani? Uko baby boomers? Baby boomers naweza shangaa 1946 to 1964. You must be young at heart. Karibu sana to Boomyard. This is the place to be. Uko Gen X, 1965 to 1980. Maybe you are a millennial from 1981 to 1996. You are a Gen Z from 1997 to 2012, or Gen Alpha from 2012. Okay, Gen Alpha sijui kama wanakubalishwa kutumia simu, but I've seen you have a parent in the building, so I'm pretty sure you can let me know if your child also fits in that age bracket or in that generation. And just some of the cultures that I've actually come across. I've done a survey, and most of the people who answered were actually people in that age bracket, from millennials and the Gen Zs. And some of them, or actually a good number of them, were concurring with some of these beliefs that, number 10 will shock you the most. Okay, not really, but yes. We have someone who was saying, talking about gender roles, talking about who should be in the kitchen, who should go to work, who should go to school, who should not go to school. Women do not belong in the kitchen. Women can go to school and study and achieve a master's, a PhD, and all of that. And mainly because, it was previously, as a woman, you are not really, shule haikuwa yako. Wewe ulikuwa tu unakaa nyumbani, take care of the home, of the children. Your husband will be the educated one, quote unquote, in the household. For you, wewe unabaki tu nyumbani na hiyo knowledge uko nayo ndio utatumia, ndio tutatumia, hakuna ingine tuko nayo. So someone was saying it's very important actually right now as a Gen Z. Who are you and you are still believing that you should not go to school? Please, what are you living under a rock? Please, can you get out of that rock, because that is not true. And we also have someone saying the aspect of women only being in the kitchen. So wakati wakati kuna wageni ama when you have some family things, it is only the women who should be in the kitchen, and the men should be having the quote unquote big conversations, or those kind of conversations that women should not participate in. And most millennials and Gen Zers are just like, excuse me, no thank you, no thank you. I will participate in those conversations as a woman because I am empowered, I am educated. Why should I not, and I should not just belong in the kitchen. I mean, why can't the men also cook? I'm sure it has struck a little imegonga mahali, yeah, but some were actually saying, why shouldn't I, as a man, why shouldn't he be in the kitchen? I'm wondering why not, and it's just interesting because of course kitambo ilikuanga even wakati wa wazazi wetu and maybe our grandparents, of course it was wewe kama you're a woman, please hii place hiyo yako tafadhali yako enda tu kwa kitchen ututengeneze kitu alafu tutakuita tukihitaji. But the Gen Zs are like, hapana, mimi nitakuja nikitaka. And there is also a very interesting survey, not interesting in a good way, but it's a survey that was in one of our mainstream media platforms, I think last week, that was just talking about the number of women who actually believe that being beaten by the man is okay, by their husbands rather, is actually okay. Just to read a bit of the statistics that I managed to see. So according to the survey, 6% of the women agreed that a woman can be beaten if she burns food, 18% if she argues with her husband, and 19% if she refuses to cook. So 6% wanasema kidogo food kichomeka na napika, unaweza niwekelea kamoja nirudi back to system kwa sababu ni kama niko na jokes. The 18% saying as a woman, if you argue with your husband, nivo, you can, tandika mimi kidogo na nitarudi back to my senses. And another 19% agreed that the husband can beat the woman if she refuses to cook. Now, of course, this is something that has raised a lot of eyebrows because they're like, who are these women? In fact, many people, when I post this on my social media, many people were like, ni kina nani? Ni nani waliulizwa kwa hii survey? Mimi siko kwa hiyo survey. What do you mean? What are you talking about? And even they can look like a small number. I think it's quite substantial that some people do think that it's okay to be beaten, it's okay to be subjected to some kind of physical, emotional abuse. And this was only for women, of course. I'm not sure if men were included, but I'm pretty sure, of course, there are some men who are also being beaten by their wives. Maybe it was not taken, but there are some who actually believe it's okay under some certain circumstances. And of course, Gen Z and millennials are like, never can never be me. If that happens, please, I am flying, I am running out of the room, because ukuni where, and also another interesting one is let me say some Gen Zs believe that as a man, even if you do not open the door for your wife, kutoka nyumbani ama kwa gari, I'm not sure if this is something that was kitambo ama ni sai, but there's some people who believed that if you do not open the door for your woman, you are not a real man, na wewe tutakutupa nje, because where, in what life, in which generation are you? Mwingine pia anasema, as a man, it's okay to split bills with the lady I am going out with, the lady I am dating. If she's okay with it, it's pretty much okay with me. There's some ladies, I'm sure, wakisikia yo, they're like, please, red flag is screaming. What do you mean sharing the bill? Excuse me, I am a woman, I need soft life. Mimi siwezi enda date KFC, lazima unipeleke sijui wapi na wapi. And that's some Gen Zers who are just, and of course the baby boomers and the millennials are like, unajua mahali sisi tulikuwa tunaenda Uhuru Park, my friend, na unasema hapa sijui KFC sijui nini. So let me know what you think about the same. There's so much more actually beliefs and traditions and culture that I have right here, but please let me know what you think. Again, the WhatsApp line is 0717 400 555. You can find us on our social media platforms at Hope FM Live. The hashtag is Boomyard.
Hope FM exists to know God and make Him known through evangelism and discipleship. For feedback, suggestions, or complaints regarding our programming, talk to us on 0709 861180 or email us on feedback@hopefm.org. Reach us through our social media platforms at Hope FM Live. We would
Under my feet. An amazing song, Under My Feet by Worship Factory featuring Mark Rue, bringing us to 37 minutes past the top of the hour. Sijui kama mko salama, lakini I'm already seeing some more of your comments streaming in on Boomyard. Karibuni sana. The conversation for today inakakuwa fiti, talking about our Gen Zers and Millennials, just stubborn ama they are awakened to reality. Previously tulikuwa tunasema vile kuna wenye bado, of course previously in the other generation walikuwa nasema as a woman you need to just be in the kitchen, that is your place, hakuna place ingine unafaa kuwa, tafadhali, your place is just the kitchen. But of course Gen Zs right now are just like no, and even millennials are like no, not at all, we can do every other thing that is opposed to just being in the kitchen. It's not just that we are supposed to be doing. Sampling a bit more of your comments right here on #Boomyard. We have Chairman Joseph Karani from Midheru anasema ana dance kabisa. Thank you so much Chairman Joseph Karani for tuning in. Kuna pesha alikuwa ametuma meme hapa akisema there is a promise ring, there is a proposal ring, and there is a wedding ring. Which one are you wearing right now? Mtu akasema ringworms. Very interesting. Concerning the conversation for today, this is Donald Jones, aka Mzungu Omondi from the United States of America. Thank you so much for tuning in. Anasema he's married to a Luo, and when I'm able to be in Kenya with her, she will let me do some cooking, but prefers to stay out of the kitchen most of the time. So that is for them. Anasema anaweza ingia kwa kitchen, hana shida na hiyo, lakini of course the lady is like not all the time, which is actually for some people they're okay with that. In the previous generation, of course, ulikuwa unaambia mtu ati niko as a man ati unaingia kitchen kufanya nini? Can you please? We also have someone here saying blessings Steph, I am a baby boomer and enjoying the conversation, very educative and relevant. Thank you so much. Anasema pia selection muziki imekuwa fiti, amekuwa akidance all along, so grateful, and thank you so much for tuning in to Boomyard. I hope iko fiti. As a baby boomer, by the way, let me know what you think about these beliefs and cultures, because some of us, well, maybe a number of us here are mainly Gen Zers and Millennials, but I think we'd love to hear from you as a baby boomer, what you think. Maybe there are some of these things that you have told your younger cousins, or if you have children, umewaambia, and for them they're just like, please hiyo mambo unaniambia hata sijui ni nini. Someone else here alikuwa anatuma meme, anasema unaweza pata hadi methali zilikuwa meme za wahenga. Anasema mimi ni nani, segment is lit. Thank you so much for tuning in, by the way. Please let me know who this is, but asante sana for that. And even as we continue, there's another nilikuwa nimeona hapa. I think this is Facebook or YouTube, I'm not so sure. This is from Christ Ambassador Lawrence, and anasema technology has given us no choice but to abandon some cultures, traditions and beliefs. This is he's representing Gen Zers. #boom in the yard. Thank you so much for that comment, Lawrence. And for sure, as we were talking about even the tectonic movement segment, the technology imetufanya tuachilie some of these traditions, some of these cultures and beliefs that our parents, our grandparents held on to, but for us they just really are not working for our generation. And even continuing with the same, ikikuja kwa things to do with marriage and family, again another very very sensitive topic or sensitive area. Unapata squeezy actually for some families, when you are in the process of marorasho, getting married and everything, unapata the family of the lady anakwambia you don't have to bring, you know, ati dowry sijui milioni ngapi na sijui cows wangapi na goats wangapi, which is equated to the money, but unakwambia just bring, you know, whatever you can and that is okay. Ukiambia familia ingine hivyo, they'll be like, what do you mean what we can, what? Excuse me, we are asking for money tafadhali. You know, some families are just like, you know, still in those cultures where, of course, not literally cows and goats, but you know, the money is something big. And for actually many Gen Zers and millennials, just like, it's not a must really. Our parents have evolved from that, and I don't think it's necessary. For some parents, they would hear that and they would just cringe just hearing that, because they're like, apana, they have to bring what our cultures have been. In fact, I think there was another time nilikuwa nasikia story nyingine ya Rorashio, na kuna mtu alikuwa anaambiwa sijui, you know, kuna damu ya a goat we have to slaughter, na hiyo sijui tutaiweka wapi, we pour it to the ground as libation, and they were like, oh my goodness, huku ni wapi? You know, so some people actually nasi ati ni kitambo, should be somewhere maybe last year, and I think it's of course shocking because some people are still practicing these cultures, and you're just like, okay, I thought hizi vitu zimeisha, but apparently not. And also in the same, of course, traditions in marriage and concerning the family, parents do not use your partner anymore, which was something that used to be done. Me personally, let us do, because how would you? Okay, I think what the criteria they would use is maybe if they are well off, maybe if they have a good name, or for some families they were just like, we need money and we are just not okay, so please can you just get married, which is very unfortunate because many people would marry off their daughters just to get the money, but it would really affect them then, but they wouldn't know about it because the parents had the final say. And again, also choosing a partner according to one's tribe. There's some parents who will still be tribalistic and be like, apana, if you are Luo, you must marry a fellow Luo. If you are Kale, you must marry a hey, we, iyo ulimi kidogo karibu iteleze. A fellow Kale. Akibidi wamboi mtani sawehe. Yes, and if you're maybe a Kyuk, you must marry a fellow Kyuk, and of course definitely many people have already moved from that. Wakisema it's not really a must, tribalistic matters hizo hapana. We do not do that here. We are moving away from this. Hiyo haibambi. We should not be doing that. Another very interesting thing that I've actually gotten to see about Gen Zers and millennials thinking about marriage and family is that when you get married, initially parents would mainly, and this is something I've heard from many parents, mainly in the baby boomer section, and you can also let me know if you're in the baby boomers, that is from 1946 to 1964 is when you were born. Please do let me know. But nilikuwa naambiwa na wazazi wengi sana, we would get married because you wanted kids so badly. Like kids were a very big thing, you know, that time, like you were getting married, when are you getting kids? And already of course in our society today, bado utasikia tu, you're getting married, oh wow, you've gotten married, so when are you planning to have kids? Ama if you're a family friend to the family of the person who got married, or has she gotten kids, has he gotten kids, when are they planning to get kids? It's something that is so, you know, I've had with many Gen Zers, like, in fact for us, we don't even want kids, and of course parents are like, you cannot do that to me, please, you cannot break my heart like that. Gen Zers are more like, we are in this marriage, of course, to multiply and everything as you're commanded, but it does not mean that is the main agenda in this marriage. We're not rushing to get children, we're not rushing for that process. Please, mtatu harakisha, mimi bado mtoto jamani, I'm still children. And another one is online dating. Hii ni kitu of course imekuja na technology again, as Lawrence was saying. Online dating si kitu ilikuwanga kitambo. Okay, I don't think so, but online dating imekuja na these apps, Tinder and all that, and many people have actually gotten to with their life partners via Instagram, via Facebook, or these online dating platforms, which is a bit bittersweet because of course, you know, the argument would be, you don't know this person, you've never seen them, and you want to get married to them. What exactly are you telling me? You know, parents are just screaming and cringing at this. And again, you can let me know your sentiments on the same. Our WhatsApp line 0717 400 555, that is 0717 400 555. On social media, we are at Hope FM Live.
FM, broadcasting on 93.3 Nairobi, 93.9 Western Kenya, and 101.9 Mombasa.
Hope Media is dedicated.
Shepherd, amazing gospel reggae by Siobhan Franklin featuring Israel Houghton, bringing us to 5 minutes to the top of the next hour on Boomyard. Manze imekuwa fiti sana. The music has been amazing, clearly. Naona comments zenu and y'all are just like, yes please, more music tafadhali. And again guys, even as we go to the next hour where we'll be winding down our conversation for today, talking about Gen Zers and Millennials and the coming Gen Alpha, on whether we are just stubborn or we are actually awakened to some of the realities. We have Gracious Favor here on Facebook, anasema tuned in with my daughters and sister. We are blessed. The music selection is top notch. Thank you so much, Gracious. Anasema repeat the age groups for and their titles. So we have the baby boomers. Now the baby boomers, those who are aged between who are born between 1946 to 1964. We have the Gen X, people who are born between 1965 all the way to 1980. We have the Gen Y, or the Millennials, who are born between 1981 to 1996. We have Gen Zs, who are born between 1997 and 2012. And we have Gen Alpha, who are 2012 na hadi sai, of course, until the next generation. So I hope you have identified yourself somewhere there katikati, and you can let me know which generation you are in and what you think about the same. We'll be talking about a lot, actually, talking about family, some of the gender roles in the house and all that. And I'm getting Mr. Chiniki, ukiuliza request, unaweza pata wapi preaching ya leo ya Bishop Peter Ndungo. We actually have our Hope FM podcasts, which are live on whatever podcast platform you choose. If it's Apple Podcast, Google podcast, AfriPods, or you can just go to hopemediakenya.org. That is hopemediakenya.org. You can catch up with any episode of any show, any program that you might have missed out on. That is on our Hope FM podcast. You can go to our website, hopemediakenya.org, or you can go to the podcast and search Hope FM, and you'll be able to tune in right there. Thank you so much. We have Kim Shege anasema, let's talk peace, let's talk the love of Jesus for sure and amen. That is hashtag Boomyard on Listen and Live. We have Chairman Joseph Karani anasema, he cooks, he washes utensils, he gives the kids a bath, he washes everyone's clothes, he does the duties. But the lady anasema hiyo ni kitu ya kawaida. It is rare to find a man who is past fourth floor to do such things, but this is how his parents brought him up so that he doesn't have to depend on anyone. Hashtag oh wow, awesome. That is on Boomyard. Wow, thank you so much for that. Yeah, anasema yeye ufanye hizi vitu anaoshanga nguo, anaosha vyombo, anapika, and that for the wife just like because that's how it should be, please. That is the standard. Tafadhali, are you doing extra? No sir, please. Wow, that's very interesting. Chairman Joseph, please do let me know uko generation gani niweze kusikia, kwa sababu naweza taka kujua kuna wenye sasa wamesikia hiyo na kidogo tu cringe sana. I also have someone who was saying, as a baby boomer, cultivation of farms was our activities, but now we are told it is child labor. Child abuse. Sahi ukemia mtoto aende kwa shamba, you are abusing me. Nitakusema according to the constitution, Anasema she witnessed how parents lived through tough traditions that enslaved them, like some of the initiation processes or circumcision, but salvation has given us freedom. Amen. So she says her grandchildren and children are totally free from such. Amazing. I love that. I love to hear that, because I think as a baby boomer you understand that some of these things are just not necessary. Of course, as a baby boomer pia unaona sasa surely kitu ya kuambia kuenda kwa shamba ni kitu ya kukasirisha kweli, ni kitu ya kunireport nayo surely utaniambia ni child labor, child abuse. Of course, for some people they'll be like, definitely, how can I go to the shamba? Kwanza for these people in our current generation, of course, those ladies utawapata wanaongea like, oh my goodness, like how do I use this jembe, like what am I supposed to do? There's so much that everywhere. Aki hapana, poleni na wachomea, lakini yes. And this is Chairman Karani, if I'm not wrong, anasema yeye ni Gen Y, amezaliwa 1983. So yeye anasema mimi mtasha vyombo na nini, it's not something that is so out of the ordinary. So even as we go to the last hour of Boomyard, again, please continue letting me know what you think about that. Our WhatsApp line is 0717400555. I'll also be taking some calls. Akipoleni ya ukweli kashika green kalamba down. We'll be taking some of those calls and listening to you guys and what you think about these insights. Kama unaona kitumwa saizi kuenda kulima kwa shamba, it is child labor. You will not enslave me to this.
FM.
It's now 9 p.m.
Listen and live.
A revival is breaking out.
Niombe, the latest by Nelly Kong featuring Abel Chungo, playing on Hope FM. Boomyard is the place to be, 93.3, where you listen and live. We are at 13 minutes past the top of the hour. Manzi imekuwa fiti sana with our conversation for today. More comments streaming in. Thank you so much once again to each and every one of you who has tuned in to Boomyard tonight. So grateful for each and every one of you who has made time even for our conversation for today, discovering whether Gen Zers and millennials are just stubborn or they are awakened to reality. Sampling a lot of your comments, we have also baby boomers in the building. We have Gen Y, tukona Gen Z. So I'm grateful that I actually have a couple of insights that I'm sampling from different generations and not just one, which is very important. One lady was telling us just previously that ukiambia mtoto sai aende kwa shamba, my friend, you are earning yourself even a jail sentence. Hiyo utaambiwa, excuse me, this is child labor, child abuse. I will not participate in this. Someone here is saying this should be Pesh. Anasema Pesh ni Gen Z, and for me in marriage I'd wish to have a partner who we can do everything on a shared basis, 50-50, like there'll be no gender roles. Any of us can do anything as long as everything is done. The only work I can't do ni ya shamba. Ni a big no. Yeah, nasema ati apik jembe ende shambani. Pesha nasema hiyo kidogo hautanipata. You will not find me there. And that's a Gen Z talking, so you can see because a baby boomer who was speaking to us was saying cultivation of farms was the activity, but sahi tunaambiwa ni child labor. So you can definitely see the difference in all of that. Very interesting. Again, you can let me know what you think about that on our WhatsApp line, that is 0717 400 555. I'll be taking calls Our SMS line is 20933. You can reach out to us with your comments and your feedback at Hope FM Live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitter. Another thing that I actually did not mention about marriage and family is an aspect of choosing when to have kids and also not getting kids at all. That's something that I had just mentioned, that touched on a little bit, is saizi people have different, not that they don't want to get kids, but many people actually just say usini force because it will not work. Maybe before ungeambiwa, I'm waiting for children, I'm waiting, like wako wapi, but sahi ukiniambia you are waiting, I'll be like, let us wait together because I am also waiting. And not like in a rude way, but just I'm not in a hurry. I don't have any pressure to get children, so tafadhali mimi kwa hiyo agenda utani excuse kidogo. In terms of work and career, this is very interesting, by the way. There are many Gen Zers who, according to them, manze mambo ya kazi, it is different because I will not do a job. Currently, actually, you'll find many people, ukiona memes inatembea HR, wanasema, my Gen Z wanatumaliza hapa, because I will not do something I don't want to do. Previously, you'd find, the baby boomers could do a job that they don't want, maybe finances, and that's how they've grown their career. But sahia Gen Z unaniambia nifanye kazi staki, my friend, you will wait. Hope FM, hello. Hello, mambo vipi?
I'm Charles from Kenyaga.
Yes, Charles, niambie.
Sasa mimi nilikuwa naona mambo na Gen Z. Tunapatana, tunapelekwa sana nyumbani. At least tunapata tunaweza kulima, tunaweza maybe fanya kazi yonzi. Sasa vingine tumelelewa tao.
Yes.
Naona sasa tao kuna lot of things, maybe katikati hakuna mahali hapo, maybe kama mahali kiko hakuna.
Yeah.
Shamba. Ni tao, tunaenda maybe funky, tunaenda maybe kucheza.
Yeah.
Tunapata hiyo time ya kwenda kulima, maybe kufanya mambo very hard for us.
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
But tukipelekwa nyumbani ile maybe tukifunga tungua kwanza enda ushago kwanza ukasaidie shughuli na tutasaidia tunaelewa.
Ukafanya kazi ya shamba kidogo. Hello? Oi, tumepoteza Charles, who is speaking to us from Kirinyaga. But just something what he said, anasema Gen Z manze mnafaa muende ushago kidogo muone pia hiyo kazi iko aje. Unajua juu kuna sasa vile walikuwa nasema like sasa mimi unaniambia niende shambani, my friend, no thank you, that is not for me. Tafadhali. So let me know again what you think about that. SMS line 20933. WhatsApp line is 0717400555. You can also call me on the same line. I would love to know your insights on the same.
Experience the hope, the music, the anointing. This is Hope FM, where you listen and live.
To that Congolese vibe, that is Matondo by Mac Kalambe, bringing us to 23 minutes past the top of the hour on Boomyard. Continuing with our conversation again, thanking you once again so much for making the show as amazing as it is. Thank you so much for the feedback and the comments I'm getting from each and every one of you. Even in our conversation for today, thank you so much for the different people from different generations that have responded. I am actually so grateful. I've sampled a couple of them, Nanaona, by the way. It's important to have a balance, of course. And again, just in case you might have just landed right now, the conversation we are having today is, are Gen Zs or Gen Zers and millennials or Gen Y in, that kind of generation, are they just being stubborn, hard-headed for nothing? Ama zile vitu zenye traditions, cultures and beliefs, they actually don't make sense, and we are just moving away from that. Hiyo kidogo haibambi. And just as I had mentioned earlier concerning work and career, utapata of course hiyo masaa maybe for the baby boomers, and if you are one also, you can let me know if this is true. Ungeenda kazini ufanye kazi, unaenda shule looking forward to employment, and you might get a job that you actually don't like at all, maybe something you did not study for, but because you're looking for employment, you're looking for income, some steady income to be coming in as you finished school, you just get a job. Remember kuna job iko open up, ama you've applied to something that you don't really like. Now utateseka kwa hiyo kazi, maybe your boss is the worst, the working conditions are not even good, lakini you still remain there because this is, I'm persevering, and I just want to get some income, I'm getting something from this, I'm learning something from this. That is the attitude that I have heard many baby boomers and maybe a bit of, no, not Gen Y, Gen X, baby boomers and Gen X have that kind of work attitude. But when you come to some millennials, not all of them, and mainly Gen Zers, my friend, mimi nifanye kazi nye the working conditions are not good, they're not favorable, I am being disrespected in the workspace. You think respect is the two-way traffic, my friend, not one way. Mimi nitatoka. And you might have seen, actually, there are many memes, not just this week, but I think from a long period of time, kuna memes mingi sana zimetembea concerning Gen Z's tu wakieko kwa hiyo working space kidogo, HR wanateseka kidogo, because where is this? As a Gen Z tunaona ni kama it's really not a must. If the job conditions are not favoring me, I am not favoring ile soft life, but ile disrespect and all those poor working conditions, you will not find me there, as opposed to other generations where the they would actually persevere and be like, it's maybe for a short time, hopefully. I'm not planning to stay here forever. Nitakuwa employed. I am learning something from this. That's the kind of attitude. And let me know what you think about that. It's interesting because on one side, it would be true to say that you need to have resilience wherever you go to work. You need to, keep on pushing even when things get tough. But at the same time, it should not be a breeding ground for disrespect. It should not be a reason why you should create a space where, you disrespect people who are around you. You disrespect your employees, your colleagues. You look down on the younger ones. It's different. And I would love to know what you guys think, by the way, those who are from different generations. Please do let me know what you think about that. Also concerning the work and career setting, many Gen Zers and millennials don't really want an 8 to 5 or a 9 to 5 kind of job. Actually, most would appreciate if they would just have some steady or passive income working for them. Or if I am really to get a job, if I really have to get employed, then I can do business or I can go to a job that's not really a 9 to 5. And of course, again, opposed to the baby boomers who 9 to 5 is how they found things and how they started working. But for the Gen Zers, they're just like 9 to 5, no thank you. Very routinely, things are just the same. We want something dynamic, something that is interesting, something that I can just work on now and then, not every single day. I go to work at 8 a.m., I leave at 5 a.m. I mean, it's very different. But of course, many, as I'm sampling some of these things that I've gotten to ask fellow Gen Zers, is that an 8 to 5 just doesn't work anymore. In fact, many of them would actually argue if I would get a business that would work for me very well, if I would get, if it's a job, I can work remotely, work from home, or if I get a job, just not an 8 to 5, please. That is the ghetto. We're moving away from this. Yo, Haibambi. And also, many people in that generation are also saying that in terms of full-time kind of jobs, if it's business or something like that, for our parents, ulikuwa unaambia mzazi wako nataka kuwa musician full-time, I want to be a painter, a drawer, that kind of art full-time. Mzazi wako anakuangalia like, excuse me, in what economy exactly? What can you please mtu aambie mtoto kabla ni weke moja hapa haraka because for parents in the baby boomers generation and the Gen X, they would believe that a real job, quote unquote, a real job would entail, going for an 8 to 5, an office setting, maybe a white collar, or if it's a blue collar, something like that. But you're telling me music, you're telling me art, what are you telling me? And Gen Z is like, yes, I would. Many people are actually exploring that. Gen Z's, maybe, I don't know if there's any baby boomer who's into that as well, but many are seeing art as a space for creativity, for openness, for a job. I don't have to work an 8 to 5 just to bring food to my table. If I can start a business using my music, if I can mentor people in my, social media, training, marketing agencies, iko kila mahali. If I can use art as a job to also earn me income and turn my talent into income, why do I have to get an 8 to 5? It is not necessary. I do not need to do that. I will not subscribe. I am not boarding. I am not. And another thing is also a job that gets you lots and lots of money. So I believe that according to also the sample that I've also gotten is that for Gen Zers, for our parents, maybe they would think if you are getting some mid-ish income, something that can just support you for now, it would be okay. But Gen Zers, not all of them though, but some of them are like, if I can get a 6-figure salary, please sign me up very fast, Well, one of the cons about that, of course, about Gen Zers is that we tend to be a bit impatient. We tend to think that things come, like a genie, things just work out like that. But of course, our parents would tell us you have to be patient for these things because money does not come from trees. So you're going to have to be patient. Even when you go to work, you will not immediately, or you may not immediately climb up the corporate ladder. But for Gen Zers, we're like, excuse me, if I can get that money, please sign me up no later than today.
FM, another quality service from Christ, is the Answer Ministry.
Booyard. The Booyard with Tiffany.
Jump ship, hey, you don't have to jump ship. An amazing one by Jonathan Mark Reynolds and Mali Music, Jump Ship. I think I have fallen in love with that song because it is just amazing. That reggae is on another level. Bringing us to 38 minutes past the top of the hour. Tunakaribia kumaliza show. Oh my goodness. And our conversation for today has been very interesting. Getting to sample so many of your comments right here. Mkisema vile kila mtu ako tofauti, kila mtu ako na, baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, Gen Z, Gen Alpha ndio wanakuja. There's so many, actually. There's so much to learn. And the thing is that I'm getting to also understand is that we get to evolve in all these generations. There's some things that won't stay the same. There's some that will stay the same, like Jesus Christ. Yeah, tabaki, whichever generation ni kuje, Jesus will remain the same. But our conversation for today is just looking into some of these things that have actually just changed as generations have passed, as time has gone by. They just aren't the same anymore. And that's what we've been talking about right here on Boneyard, even as we're coming to wind down the show. Getting to also sample a bit more of your comments. We also have someone here who was also saying, I think this is a baby boomer, and anasema as baby boomers, anasema we worked to support others. It was not about your immediate needs alone. We were ready to work to bridge the poverty gap, and everyone in the society, the community, and the extended family is looking up to you as the pillar if you are blessed with a job. That is for the baby boomers. Again, that is from those people who were born between 1946 and 1964. Thank you so much again for tuning in. This is a baby boomer who's speaking, by the way. This is not me making up these things. This is a baby boomer who has tuned in, and I'm actually happy because there are different comments that I've also gotten here. Jupesh alikuwa anasema mimi kidogo kiniambia nende kwa shamba kidogo tutakosana. That one I am not able to do. But for the baby boomers, they're saying, I mean, really. And there's also Charles from Kirinyaga who had earlier on called, and Charles was saying watu wanafaa waende shambani kidogo, wasaidie shosho, wasaidie guka, wafanye nini, know how to kuenda kwa shamba hii nini, tool gani inafanya nini, na nisaidia aje kulima plants, taking care of the cows. Lakini sasa Gen Z unaniambia nini nika take care of the cows na nimezaliwa Nairobi? How is that meeting? That is not possible. And even another aspect that I don't know what you guys think about this, but this is something I've also gotten to get as I've interacted with a couple of Gen Zers and Millennials. It is that for some reason mental health was not really regarded during those times. By those times, I mean, kitambo kidogo, maybe the ages, baby boomers, maybe a bit of Gen X. Gen X is those who were born between 1965 and 1980. And mental health was not really regarded. Ilikuwa, you are going through depression, that is a family issue. It runs in your family. Hiyo familia yenu iko cast, ama kuna mtu ameiba nyota yenu. Let me use that as a joke at the moment. Kuna mtu amewaibia nyota, ama kuna mtu amekuibia nyota, ndio unaambiwa enda kwa kanisa, ukaombewe. Those demons need to be cast out and everything. For the Gen Zs, they're like, okay, demons, we are getting very serious here. And the thing is that while they don't neglect the fact that it's very possible you could actually be under some kind of spiritual attack, very, very, very possible, which can attack your mental health. Gen Gen Zs are coming up to say, and also millennials, this is something that is actually an illness. It is not a phase. It is not something that I just choose to, one day I wake up and, oh my goodness, I'm depressed. It is something that, Gen Zs take, and it's like very serious. And that's why there's a lot of conversation about mental health awareness and all that. Speaking to some baby boomers rather, they're just like, okay, mental health, sawa, lakini, actually the comments I've actually heard is that ata sisi kwani who didn't go through trauma, who didn't have trauma, so ukiniambia hapo huwezi kuja kazini because of what you telling me? You're telling me you can't do this because you have mental excuse me, wacha mchezo, even us we had this. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, is that really the right attitude that we should have towards mental illnesses? I'm really not sure, but it's something it's a conversation I've had, in some rooms, people saying, we also had trauma, we also went through depression, we even went through depression and we didn't even know about it, we had abuse and we didn't talk about it, but here we are okay. And Gen Zers are just like, you are not okay, my friend. That is actually a lot of conversations I've had with my friends who are in that age bracket, is that parents have actually emotionally abused their children just because of those traumas that were not addressed. And that is a very serious issue, by the way. There was one day tutaongelelea hiyo story because it is something we need to talk about. Taking your calls on 0717400555. Hope FM, hello. Hope FM, hello. Hello.
Habari yako?
Nzuri sana, ni aje?
Ni Silva, niko poa sana.
Good to hear from you, Silva. Unaonaje kuhusu hii conversation yetu ya leo?
Ebu please nikumbushe.
Sasa tunaongelelea watu wa Gen Z, vile kuna traditions na beliefs wao wanaona ni kama sio mass, lakini kuna wale wa kitambo wanasema lazima tuendelee nazo.
Mimi sioni ni vizuri tukiendelea nazo.
Like some of them ama zote tu in general?
Zote in general.
All of them. Unaona kama kuenda kwa shamba hiyo hapana? Wow, okay, sawa. Uko kwa generation gani?
Niko kwa the first generation.
The
generation ya kisasa.
Gen Z, okay. Ndio Gen Z, yes, ndio nasikia sasa. Okay, asante Silva.
Sawa, next week.
Sawa. Thank you so much for calling.
Yeah, thank you.
Alright, huyu ni Silva, anapiganga every show. Thank you so much, Silva, for tuning in. Ubarikiwe sana. And everyone else who has actually tuned in, by the way, but thank you so much for calling. Nasema zote. Sitaki kujua zote. Remove all of them. Ya shamba, ya dawari, ya kazi, weto zote. I don't even want to know. That's a Gen Z. Also something interesting about Gen Zers is that we are very, very open and vocal with what we do not want. Not saying that our parents aren't, but I feel like for our parents, they would have, wanna shukisha kidogo because they're like, manze neza choma nikisema hivi, can I put it, in a different way? Acha tu niifanye, si mbaya sana. But for Gen Zers, my friend, kama sitaki, you will not force me, please. You will not take me to that shamba. You will not force me to do this and this. That's something very interesting also about Gen Zers. Continue to take your calls even as we are 15 minutes to the top of the hour and the final conclusion of the show. Our WhatsApp line and our call line is 0717400555. SMS line 20933. Our social media platforms at Hope FM Live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
FM, broadcasting on 93.3 Nairobi, 93.9 Western Kenya, and 101.9 Mombasa.
Can't stop praising his name. Deborah Lukalu and James Magilla bringing us to 8 minutes to the top of the next hour on Boom Yard. As we are finalizing on our conversation for today, I have seen a very interesting comment right here by Eric Osodo. Eric anasema kwenda shamba sio child abuse manze. Mbona mnacomplicate kitu? Anasema you can't sit down in the house without helping your parents and you expect them to help. Watoto lazima wafanye kazi. That is Eric Osodo, his comment on WhatsApp right there. And I think it's very interesting to have sampled so many of your comments from Gen Zs. I haven't actually seen a millennial here, but I've gotten some comments from baby boomers, and I've gotten a Gen X who has also commented on the same. By the way, the Gen X, I think it was Chairman Joseph Karani, if I'm not wrong, alikuwa anasema, for me, I do the dishes, I wash clothes, I cook, and really it's not a big deal. But of course, ukiambia mtu mwingine hivyo saidi be like, as a man, oh my goodness, so what do you mean? And even as you wind down on the conversation for today, even as I just just say thank you and appreciate all of you once again for tuning in and engaging on the Boomhead for our conversation for today on whether the millennials and the Gen Zers are actually being just hard-headed or stubborn. I don't think there's a particular answer to that. Jonadua nikiweza sema there's an answer, yes or no, nitarushiwa mawe hapa. But I think it just depends really, to be honest, on what those things are. Of course, kuna vitu saizi hatusifanyi, maybe because of evolution, technology and all that. We no longer subscribe to some of those things, but if there are some of those things that we should still continue, kama naona hii mambo ya kufanya kazi, ya nyumba tu, ama kwenda kwa shamba, not a big deal, si lazima ati use child abuse, please no. Pia Nick Mudhama anasema kazi lazima ifanywe and I insist, you cannot tell me the work, what do you mean ati Gen Z or sijui nini, please, hiyo hapana, hiyo hautaleta hapa, hiyo tafadhali. I think we'll actually we should definitely have some more insights on this in another segment of the Boomyard, maybe later, because today our time is unfortunately over. Naona mtu anapiga simu. Let me pick the last call even as you wind down on tonight's show. Hope FM, hello. Oi, ni kama amepiga by mistake, amesema oops, sorry, I did not mean to. Taking another one even as we finalize. Hope FM, hello. Hello, Hope FM. Oh wait, okay, ni kama imekatika, sorry for that. Yes, and our conversation for today, by the way, just winding down. Thank you so much to everyone who has sent in their insights, and I hope sijui kama tutaweza pata a balance, because I think with different things coming up every other day, it will be very hard to say we can find a balance on some various things, but I hope we can be able to still live in harmony, tufanye kazi, tusikue lazy. By the way, of course, God advocates highly for doing work. There is no place where God says you can be lazy. That is definitely not in the Bible, but we should work. We just need to know where to strike the balance. Of course, mambo ya 9 to 5, yeah, I think it depends on you as a person. Hope FM, hello. Hello, mambo vipi? Naongea na nani tafadhali?
Unaongea na Gen Z,
No.
Yeah.
Niambie.
Okay, I'm late kidogo kwa conversation ya leo. According to me, lazima kazi ifanywe.
Whether or not we ni Gen Z, kazi ifanywe.
Kazi ifanywe.
Hata kwenda kwa shamba ama hiyo inalingana?
Sidhani kwenda kwa shamba ni big deal.
It's a big deal?
Kama kuna pesa kulima, acha tulime. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, John, for tuning in. Thank you for your insights.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. God bless.
God bless you.
Alright, nasema kazi lazima ifanywe. Hata useme nini uniambie mimi kazi lazima ifanywe, utaniambia kitu ati yo sijui ya majenzi sijui nini hapana, kazi lazima itafanywa. I also did read a comment from Richard Mudhoka who was saying count me in. Alikuwa na tune in from Kiambu. Thank you so much once again to everyone who has tuned in to the Boomyard. Asanteni sana for making the show so lively. Thank you so much for engaging with us right here. Very grateful. Sijui kama ndachukua iko ya mwisho, acha tuone. Hope FM, hello. Hope FM, hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hakuna kazi ya mtu, kuna kazi ya kulima.
Hello. Hello, unasemaje?
Kila kazi ni kazi, hakuna penye imeandikwa kazi ni ya mtu.
Ni ukweli, kazi ni kazi.
Kulima, lima.
Kazi yoyote.
Wanaume wapi?
Kila mtu afanye kazi, hakuna kubagua.
Imagine kama mwanaume yuko kwa, yani mwanamke yuko kwa nyumba, utafanya nini?
Aki, ni ukweli.
Lazima.
Ni ukweli. Alright, asante sana.
Karibu.
Okay. Watu ni kama wamekuwa TikTok wanasema unasema aje ati ufanyi kazi, hebu acha mchezo wewe. What are you telling me? Very interesting. Anasema kazi ni kazi, hakuna mali imeandikwa kazi ni ya sijui nani na huyu na yule. Kazi ni kazi. That's just about work. Actually, there's so many other aspects that I may not have shared about today, but I'm hoping we'll be able to find time to also debunk some more on this, because it seems we have a lot of insights to share about this very interesting topic. And I just pray that if whatever generation you are, of course, again, God will not advocate for laziness of any kind. Hizo vitu zingine, inalingana na wewe tu vile unajisikia. But I hope that you will continue to still do your work diligently. Mambo ya watoto kwa marriage kidogo, hiyo inalingana na nani, because hauwezi kuforce mtu. Sasa kama hataki, ukweli utaforce mtu. Utamforce apate tu watoto kukufurahisha wewe, lakini kwa hiyo ni shida yake. And asanteni sana once again. This has been Boomyard on Hope FM. Again, thanking you, each and every one of you, so much for your comments, your insights, your feedback. Asanteni sana. We take it very seriously right here, and I hope God blesses you even as you go into the weekend, or rather the Sunday. Remember, Kesho Form ni anchored from 10 a.m. live with Beatrice Watare. Actually, she'll be here from 10 a.m. on the Anchored Show on Hope FM, just to get to help you know in your journey of salvation that you should be anchored in Jesus Christ in everything. Somebody here was saying praying for patience and joy, purity, for a job, against heartache, and a new fellowship of friends. And I really pray that God meets you at your very point of need. I pray that He will find you right there where you desire, and I pray that you'll also be channeled to the source to know what God desires for you. Again, in new seasons, everything, seasons come with different things. So I hope that you'll be anchored on Jesus, in Jesus, despite everything. Alright, tutapatana next week on Saturday from 7 p.m. kama kawaida on the Boomyard. My name is Tiffany Wamboye, host with the most. Have a wonderful Sunday evening ahead, and stay tuned for more worship music live on Hope FM, where you listen and live.
FM.
It's now 10 p.m.
Listen and live.
A revival is breaking out.
The voice of hope in the air.